Aloha! Mwah. Well, it is Tuesday night, May the 15th, 2018. It's 10:41 p.m. Well, on Monday, I was to have gone to Marble Falls to see my orthopedist surgeon about my right wrist in this area right in here, and then it goes down into this part of the hand, and then it goes over to from the side here, or to the outside edge, over into the middle finger, but it's mostly it goes into both these fingers, but mainly the pinky. But when I fell September the 29th, 2017, out here in my flower bed, it not only messed up this, it messed up my right hip and my back, and also my right foot and right ankle and my left ankle, and it really did take a number on me. Well, with everything at the time, the most serious of what it looked like was my right foot, which it was, and then it moved. That was a deal to tend to, and then the next one that kept kicking in was my right hip. Still haven't had that looked at, but I'm in the process. That's on my agenda to do, and will get done at some point. And also my back will get done at some point. Haven't gone into that, but it's on my list of what I call Christie's priorities, and I'm always shuffling them around, because sometimes when I think I've got them in the order that they need to be done, well, things happen, life happens, the world happens, so you always have to be able to readjust. If you get stuck on that list and in that order, and you're not going to deviate from it, well, the world doesn't work that way. And so you've got to be able to readjust, and don't get so out of kilter if, dadgummit, I have to redo this again. Dadgummit, how many more times do I have to do it? Well, I'm going to pull a Dr. Philette. You do it until. And I've even heard him say, you make a list. You start off with that first one. Once you complete that one, and complete it to the best of your ability, and that you feel that it is complete, you scratch it. You don't scratch it off or mark it out. You just mark a line through it and put a check mark. Done. Okay, go to the next one. Same way. That is the same way that my mama and my daddy taught me. So, going back to the basics of life, it does work if you use it. It was given there for us to use. All you have to do, go and pick it up and use it. You never know if it's going to work until you try it. Well, anyway, so I thought, okay, yesterday was going to be the day that I would go and see my orthopedic surgeon that I was referred to by my primary care doctor. And, well, sis, you've got your little cutie pie. I got my cutie pie. Now, I challenge you, sis, Patricia Smallwood, to a little sister-to-sister challenge. Okay? And that challenge is, take a picture of your cutie pie and post it. And you can either do it in a video or you can do it in a photo. I'm tired of writing, so I know it's easier for you to write and maybe take photos. That's why I included it that way. And so it's your choice of which way you want to do it, but I hope and pray that you do it. Anyway, here is my cutie pie, Dr. Adam Wesley Raskin. I have to stop and think how to pronounce his name because it's an unusual spelling, and it's one that you don't hear all that often. Now, I found a picture of him, and it was when he was a little bit younger. Then I got to meet him today, and he had on his glasses, has a little mustache, has a little bit of beard going on, but he keeps it well groomed. So I don't have anything that I can put in my purse to take a picture. I wished I did, but I don't. But anyway, here, as I was checking out to leave, lo and behold, there was a card, and I'm talking about a card that has his picture on it. And I looked up and I said, thank you, God. And so here is Dr. Adam Wesley Raskin, my orthopedic surgeon. Now, you tell me that he's not a cutie. And he's also a hottie. And let me get up there to the credentials for what all he specializes in, so you can maybe catch it. I'll leave it there long enough for you to catch it. Y'all may have to rewind the video to catch it. But, yeah. Now, so, hope you do it. I did. So, that's my challenge for my sister. So, anyway, I went there to get this all checked out because what it's been doing is going to sleep on me. It's, of course, been painful. It's been hurting. It's been acting like my left one did when I broke the 2 bones in my wrist area, and then several months later I had to go back in, see the doctor, sent me to the hand doctor, and had it was carpal tunnel, but they had to do a tendon release. I don't know if you can see. Let me get the scar. Where is it at? It's right in there. There is a scar right in there. It's real faint. Oh, I caught it. Well, I'm not going to spend time trying to. There it is. Right in there. And then years and years ago, I had well, I'll get the inside of my wrist. I had, you see that scar right there? It's where I had to have a part of my tendon removed from there. But anyway, I thought, okay, you're doing the same thing. I've been there, done that. No big deal. Well, I go, and I get in there, and I meet him, and he described the problem. I described the problem, and then he goes, okay, so he scoots over there with me on his little scooter. Or I call it a scooter. It's really the stool with wheels. But anyway, he scooted over to me, and he had me bend my arm up, you know, like this. And then on the inside, let me get into the video. Which way? So I bend it, and this bone right here on the edge, he goes, okay, now what happens when I do this? Pop! And he pops it right there. And what in the heck did you do? And He goes, okay, stop thinking about that. I already know that it was painful. Otherwise, you wouldn't have jumped like that. And I said, well, when it hurts, I'm going to jump, or however. I never know how I'm going to react. And he goes, think about what did you feel as you did? I said, the pain, and then it went immediately into a tingling, and then it ran right straight down that arm. Let me get back over here. Right straight down the arm, all the way to the pinky and to the ring finger. And he goes, okay. It's giving off symptoms. And he said, where it's confusing is it gives off symptoms acting like that it is carpal tunnel, but it's not carpal tunnel. It is called cubicle tunnel syndrome. And I go, what? Do what? And he goes, well, when I did this, and with the discoloration of being blue and different shades of blue and different shades of purple and being sometimes ice cold, or it just feels cold all the time, or it's tingling, or going to sleep and you're rubbing it, you're shaking it. Generally, those are some of the symptoms of carpal tunnel as well. But then when there is a test to know, to distinguish between the two, and he did this on this elbow because he already knew more than likely where it was. Now that is a guy that knows his business. He didn't even mess to do the test of the carpal tunnel. And he did this, and and he goes, well, this is what it is. And I see that you need to really go back and get checked with your cardiologist, your heart doctor, to get cleared to be able to go through the surgery. I said, okay, that's not a problem. And I said, how do I go about doing that? And he said, well, you'll need to go back to your primary care doctor and then go see him, and then go and make the appointment and go to the heart doctor. And I said, well, I've already established a heart doctor. It's on my list there on the chart that you're looking at. He pulled it up and he goes, oh yeah, I see that now. He said, oh yeah, no problem. We can bypass the referral from him. I'll just refer you myself to her because he's the one that originally sent you to me, so that's not going to be a problem. And then you go and you'll get this appointment and go. And then I said, well, how that, I'll go to her, and let's say she clears me, which I feel that she will. Then what's the next step? And then she will get in touch with me, and then I will schedule the appointment after getting with you, and we'll get it scheduled and get you in. And I said, okay, well, I said, of course you won't know this until you go in there, but will it be an overnight? And he goes, well, like you said, won't know till I get in there, but more than likely you'll get to go in and go back home that same day. And I said, oh, like a outpatient type deal. And he said, exactly. But then if I need to admit you, you're at the right spot where you can be boom, boom, and admitted. So I will take things with me just in case that I am admitted. That way I'm not having to send somebody back or send somebody over to get things and bring to me and whatnot. I'd rather go prepared and maybe a little over-prepared, because I can always bring it home, than try to give a map word by word of where to find whatever I need. So I'll just make it simple all the way around and take whatever I think I may need and go from there. I do know that before I even go, I want some cologne. I am completely out of cologne. completely out of body mist. So would like to have both, but at least the first one that I really would rather have is the cologne. So I am going to be looking around on getting some of that. And because I'm a lady and a lady likes to smell good. So anyway, you know, that's just one of my things. I just don't feel right without it. And I used the last little bit of my Oscar de la Renta, Pat and Leo. So that's lasted quite a while. A lot longer than what maybe you would have thought that it would have lasted. But anyway, I was very pleased with the doctor that was referred to me, and I had been saying prayers and hoping that it's one that I can, that me and myself and my body and all, we can connect with, and that he's got the bedside manner that is workable for me and everything, and he is. If he, I highly, highly, highly recommend him to anyone who is in need of an orthopedic surgeon. And the credentials that is just, that's not all of what he covers, but you won't know, and it's worth going that one visit to find out, and then even ask. I even asked about my foot. He said, well, I have worked with the foot and everything. It just all depends on what the issue is at hand, and that cannot be done on this visit. I said, well, I understand that, but I was letting you know what all was injured, because I even had mentioned my hip and my back. And so these are 3 areas that may be able to be with him, but then again, it may not be. So in all of this, I'll try to see how I can do that. Nowadays, instead of trying to get it all on one doctor, the insurance has made it nearly, well, that much more difficult on the patient, on having to find a ride, get a ride, trust that that ride's going to pick them up and take them to wherever they need to go at the time of when they need to go, and then be able to be willing to bring them back home, and then, do what needs to be done after the fact and everything. And so it then changing where, okay, this visit is for this only. You cannot go to the plan B. We got this, we talked about this, now let's go to plan B. We cannot do it like we used to. And that's difficult for us to get used to, because it's still brand new, but it's second, it's like hands and cake and let's shake hands, it's real common with them to go ahead and shift, but for the patients, it's harder, very hard, because it took all our whole might and our whole being to get to this appointment. Even as I was checking in and I was turned and was walking to where I needed to sit down, a lady had come in and she was registered, and they said, well, ma'am, you're going to have to go over to the next building. She was just all out of sorts, and I don't blame her. I mean, she said, well, why didn't they tell me this when I called and made the appointment and everything? Well, ma'am, I don't know. Well, that may be, but she said, now I've got to go all the way back out there to the car. Now I've got to get back in the car, and then I've got to drive just right over into the next parking lot. But to her, it felt like, you might as well say it was across town, because you could just see it all in her body. She was just already give out to get there. And she was so glad that she finally got there, and then get told this. I mean, it was just like somebody came along and took a pin to her balloon and whew, took out the last air that she had. Because that last air she had needed to go to sit down, and then when they called her in, and then walk the rest of the way wherever it is to the exam room. And that energy got blown way out of deal. It had already been used because she had to use that to get back out to the car. And if things could be explained to the doctors and to the insurance companies of that effect, I think a lot of the issues and problems of being copacetic and happy and as much as you possibly can with all aspects, it would go over a lot easier instead of being a deal of friction, you know? So, that's a thought. But now whether or not that ever gets rectified, I don't know. I could be dreaming on that. But I'll continue to dream and I'll continue to pray about it. But anyway, he had said, have you had any cramping up in the elbow area? And I said, well, in the last week and part of, now going into this week, it's been cramping, but I just passed it off as maybe it was, where maybe I might have turned it wrong, or I held it too long in one position while I'm sitting here at my lounge chair, lift chair, or maybe I might have slept on it wrong. And he goes, well, part of that could be, but with everything else going on, and now it's doing this, no. He said, have you had any kind of brace on it? I go, no. And I said, I know it probably needed one. I know that every time I've gone in since this accident happened, that has always been one of the things that I would always come back out with, is that this hand, this wrist, I don't know what's going on. I said, and he's x-rayed it. It showed that it may possibly be broken and possibly, some other problems with it, but it never did get carried into going, okay, let's move to the next step and let's see. And that didn't happen until finally on this last visit, that I finally said, I can't take this anymore. And so I said, something's got to be done some way. We've got to really get on the horn on what to do on this. And he said, well, let me do a little test. And so he did his little test. And he said, well, that could be something to do with the tendon that's in with the carpal tunnel, but it could be with the carpal tunnel. But I'll send you to an orthopedist, and he will know. And I said, okay, great, fantastic. So that's how it all got started. And then when everything got messed up yesterday, I won't go into that because that was yesterday. The only part of yesterday I'll go into is the fact that it got turned around, and my insurance people were even praying, which I was surprised about, but grateful and thankful and appreciative of the fact. And then she said, are you ready? I said, yes, I'm ready. Ready for what? She said, well, no, are you ready? And I go, yeah. She said, I got my calendar. I'm ready to go. What month is it? She said, I'll ask you again. Are you ready? And I go, yes. She said, it's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I go, what? Really? And she said, yes. And I go, oh my gosh. She said, I prayed right before I called and made the call, talked to who I needed to talk to, and laid it all out. And there we are. And here we are. And she said, but when you get back and after you've rested, don't call me don't call me on that same day. You call me the next day. So I'm to give her a call tomorrow and let her know how it went. And then now I've got another issue on the fact of my appointment on May 23rd, next Wednesday, when I go and see my cardiologist, my heart doctor. And so she will have to be the one to straighten out that mess. And so it's, you know, the good old D word loves to try to mess with my medical and mess with my appointments and mess however he wants to get in there and mess with. But 2 words for him: the end. That's as much as I give him, because he's not my ruler, he's not my creator, he does not, no, he is the end. And so, I just know by my faith and by God's word and God's grace and what he has promised and what and how he has done to help and solve and correct and do for me, he will do again as well, because he's been with me even before I was even created. And he's been with me every step. And he always will be. And so, yeah, without a doubt, I will be making that appointment on the 23rd. That I know. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. And if you got a problem with that, and you don't understand it, and you want answers about it, go talk to him. He's the one that knows. And he probably won't tell you on me, but he may tell you on you. So, you know, food for thought again. But anyway, I was very, God and my native forefathers has blessed me with a special gift of what I call my native gut feeling. And if I go into a place and I'm real easy, I don't know how to explain how it is, but I get real uneasy. I get agitated real fast, real quick. It doesn't take much to tip me off while this is going on. And, you know, I've even said, oh, okay, fine, all right, that may be the case, but I don't see where this is going to be any helpful, and I appreciate you taking the time that you did, but see you later. And I go out the door. I don't waste any more time or words or anything, because, you know, there was one instance on one of my doctors that I had and everything that I had to have a referral, and I said, at the end of it, I said, it's either you give me the referral, or when I walk out of here, I will be talking with my attorney, and I will still get my referral from you. So it's how you want to play this game, because I'm not playing your game. My health is at risk, and I don't play with that. And I'm not going to accept you playing with it as well. I'd already been going to him for a year. This is when I found out after a year that I definitely did have hep C. And so now I'm still in remission. Praise God. Hallelujah. But yet it's still in my body. It lays dormant like it did before. But yet I've got the antibodies of the hep C, because that is detected when they run the blood work. But yet it's in remission, and that's where you want to keep it that way. But it can raise its ugly head anytime it wants to. It's like carrying around a ticking clock. I won't say what the actual word is, because nowadays some things get turned around and everything, and so, but it's like a ticking clock, and it can go off at any time, at any moment, and do whatever it wants to do. And I know that. I still have little signs of it telling me, let me know that it's there, but it's not. I'm always getting my blood retested, and you know, I stay up on it. I have to if I want to continue walking on the earth, and I want to walk on the earth as long as God wants me to walk on the earth, and then I'll continue my journey all the way up to heaven, if that's where I'm to be. I feel within my heart that's where I'll be, but that's, you know, that's up to Him. And I just know that that's where I'm going to be. But, you know, everybody has their own thing on that, but yet I don't. It's kind of like with refer back to the commercial on TV on the when they are doing that commercial on credit cards. Don't leave home without it. You know, talking about the Visa card or, you know, all this stuff. You know, don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without God. And if you're a Native American or Irish, you know, your Irish fathers and your Native American father. I'm part Irish, I'm part Dutch, and I'm also part Native American. And I'm very, very proud to be an American and a U.S. citizen. I cherish all of those. And I don't leave home without all that. It goes with me wherever I go. And so, you know, it has gotten me through things. And in fact, in '89, when I broke my right leg, my tibia and my fibula, I passed what is called a fat emboli to my lung. I died for 5 minutes and they brought me back. So, and I'm a 9-time stroke survivor. I'm still here. My first one was my major stroke. I had to relearn how to talk, walk, how to make sentences, how to eat, how to use a pen, how to use a pencil, how to use a crayon, how to use a marker. I had to, the only thing that I could do, I could crawl and I could dress myself. That was it. I couldn't comb my hair. I couldn't pull it back in a ponytail like I've got it now. And it was very difficult to try to carry on. Words, my sis had described to me that it felt like she had 2 tongues in her mouth. Yes, it does feel that way. Now with mine, not only did it feel like 2 tongues, but the words just all gathered up all right in here. It's like somebody just kept stuffing, you know, up my, you know, coming up my throat, and I'm trying to get the words from my brain and come through and come out, you know, where it'll flow off my tongue and come out. I couldn't even open my, I opened my mouth. I could form the words if they would be patient enough to let me and allow me to do the form of the word, and then they put the words together. But so many people didn't want to do that. They got all flustered and they walked out. And then that naturally made me flustered. And so then that just made it even worse. Because then I had to start all over on what I was trying to say and get across. And they, well, hurry up. Hey, I gotta go. They're always in a hurry to leave. They don't want to take time, you know, to get out. They want you to talk the way you were before this all happened. It may or may not work that way. We don't know how it's going to work or how it's going to come out until after the fact. The people are going to have to learn and be patient and gentle and caring and loving and understanding and have empathy. Because everybody's got empathy if they would just use it. So many people don't want to use it. And it's sad because it's very helpful. It's very soothing. Because then you're helped. You may not realize it, but then you're also helping that patient to recover when you're doing that. And you stop and you take time to listen to them as best as you can, and then take pen and paper with you and put down the words if that's the only way they can do it, and form it. And then maybe the nurse or somebody's in the room and they go, oh, are you saying, and they would say the word, and I would point, yeah, you know, and so then they would write the word down and then put the word, and it's, you know, common sense. But, you know, people who have had that and been around that, they understand what I'm saying. And they go, yeah, that's exactly right. Because, and then if there's a lot, it depends, everybody who's had a stroke, you won't know until after the fact of what will bother you and what not. Now, my sis, she loves music. I love music. That feeds our heart and our soul and our mind. That helps, keeps us going. But on this particular stroke, she doesn't really want that noise when she's in the room or where she's at. Now, if she's in the gym area, when she's doing what she's doing in the gym, she says, oh yeah, I want to hear my music. And so, at least she's still getting her music. I was afraid that she wasn't getting any. And I was like, okay, here I'm stuck here in Texas. I can't get to Oklahoma to where my sister is. And come on, God, she's got to have her music going. Come on. And so that eased me when I did finally find out. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And I said, well, answer me one thing. Do you at least have your music with you when you do decide to use it? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I said, okay. All right. I can rest on that. And then I still wasn't giving up. I still wanted to know if she was hearing it somewhere. And she was. So, and she's in a fabulous place. I've seen pictures of it. Shoot, I want to take an escape and go where she's at. I mean, that just looks so inviting, so lush. I mean, it's like to me, I look at it as a resort, you know? And then I've got to find out, maybe she'll answer me when she sees this video. Well, is that bed that you showed me, that she sent to me earlier today or last night in the room, is that going to be your new room, or is that just one that you go and do your exercises in and you go back to your other room? But that bed looks so comfortable, a lot more comfortable than the one in the other picture. So I want to know, which one do you go to bed in? Do you go to bed in that great big beautiful one, or do you go in that, what I call a small hospital bed? That's what that one reminds me of. I was just like, oh gosh, there's no egg crates on it. How is that bed going to be comfortable? You know, because I knew how she likes to be comfortable on her bed. And I was just like, oh my God, I can see her laying down and going out. And I'm like, you know. So, you know, I was just like, no, we got to get my sister's got to be a little bit more comfortable than that. I'm sorry, sis. I'm picky. You're a mother hen on me. I'm a mother hen on you. So we're both mother hens, okay? But anyway, I love you, sis. And I want to be there so bad with you right now. It's not even funny. And you're looking super fabulous. I mean, woo-wee, girl. You've got it going on. And so, yeah. I don't have any idea of what I pictured, but it wasn't anything of what the picture was sent to me, I was just like, that is so awesome. I mean, and that is, like I told her in the message, I feel that she and I have more Native American in us than we do. Because the way that I'm looking at her in comparison of times past, that she has continued to bounce back. She's got that strong will. She's got that strong determination. She's got that strong willingness, and yes, and strong stubbornness. That we're not going to stop. We're not going to quit. We are going to continue to fight with all our might, however that may be. And this has proven that point even more so. And to what all that she went through on this one, and to come through it and be at the point of the stage that she's at in this medical situation, God, her assigned, appointed angel, and Jesus, and our native forefathers, and the prayers of all the family and all our friends and all, well, with mine, I call them my special family friends, and all the other, other church, and no telling of how far arranged this all goes. I know it goes into even some countries, and so that have been praying for both of us, and they always have, they always will, and for her family and for my family. And when you ask for prayers, there is no telling how far that reaches out, but it reaches way out, a lot further than just the little scope that you think that it's going to be covering. And it's amazing, it's miraculous, and that also proves God does exist. God is real. God is there. God is there for you. God will always be there for you, and will continue to do such. And so, for her to come that way, that is just fabulous. Yes, it's baby steps that she's taking to get back, but she's still doing it, and still got that going. And, too, in the back of her brain, she's got a activity that she wants to get to, and that's her 50th high school reunion. And I know that she will be at that high school reunion. And I believe within my heart and soul and being, you will be standing up on your own 2 feet. Even if it's a real slow dance, you will be dancing on that floor. It may be a real slow turn, a gentle turn, but adapt that dance and adapt those movements to how it needs to fit with you at that moment in time. Because it will happen. It will come to light. It will be. And I'm going to stand on God's words, Jesus' words, and our native forefathers' words, that that's how that's going to be. Because I know that's what you really want to be. Where you want to not only be, but you also want to be out there on that dance floor. That I do know. And I don't blame you one bit. And even if it is in the wheelchair, you can still twist those hips. You can still move those feet and those arms. But yet, I know how you really want to be. You want to be your full self in that dance. And you can be your full self even in your chair, in your queen chair, but yet I know where you want to be, and that's how it's going to be. And that's how I'm asking all the ones that know me and that ask for prayers, that add to that my sis, that Christy's sister, Patricia Smallwood, will be on the dance floor for her 50th reunion for her high school. And that her health is going to continue to get better. And it's baby steps, one step at a time. And it's all going to work out. May not be how we want it to work out, but it will all work out, and it will be where it's going to be a lot better. And, you know, go from there. And we just stay positive, think positive, eat positive, drink positive, walk positive. The more positive you keep in you and in your body and in your mind and in your heart and out of your mouth, and the words you say and how you interact and what you will accept that comes towards you, what you don't accept, what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate, the more positive you keep, the better it's going to be. And when that negative comes towards you, you feel and know it's a negative, turn it around some way, somehow, and go, well, that may be the case of how you feel, but you know what? I'm going to stay positive on this. Now, maybe you say it outwardly. Not necessarily do you have to say it outwardly. You can be thinking it, and it will still work. It will still shut down that negative. It won't continue to go in and absorb through and do all destruction that it does to get you all compass-hauled, you know, and off edge a little bit. And you want to, long as the scales are, you know, even or got more positive, that's good, because you want the negative more, you know, we want more positive than negative. And it just makes it a lot easier, and you can think more clearly. You can, you know, it's hard to explain unless you've been there in what I'm talking about. But anyway, like I said, I am, for lack of a better word, I'm tickled pink and purple, because the outcome that has come on this has been such a heavy brick load off of me on what, you know, trying to get what needs to be corrected and taken care of, if it's correctable. And, you know, I just have to take care of what I need to take care of and do my best. And sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm doing my best, but at least I'm still doing. At least I'm still giving it my honest try. My true, real, honest try. And nobody can say I'm not trying. If they do, there's war. And I'll go, okay, fine. You want to feel that way? Go away. Leave me alone. Don't come back. And you best get with God and work it out with Him. But I'm not going to get in a hoo-ha with you about whatever the situation is, you know. It's just, I'm done doing all that. And so, you know, sometimes it's not really drawing a line, but it's more for me of saying, enough is enough. My body and me have had enough. I'm done. And this is now how it's going to be. This is Like I said on my posting, I'm starting fresh, I'm starting new. So, if you don't like it, you've got a problem with it, then bye. Because if you're not able to work with me and we work it out, then it's time to get on your horse and keep riding. Adios, amigo. And so, you know, that would tell me that the friendship or whatever bond we had is at a stalemate, and it can only stay stalemate for so long until somebody has had enough. You know, you look at it as when we're kids. How long are you going to stand there and let somebody kick sand in your face? You're not going to stand there very long until you start kicking back, and then you get in trouble, and, you know, here we go. But, you know, as an adult, you've got to stand up for yourself, because who else is going to stand up for you? So, you know, it's what you want to tolerate, what you're willing to accept and not accept. And, you know, for me, it's time to get real, time to get true, time to get honest. And more so than ever, I've always been honest, and that's not ever been the problem. But where I run into a situation that doesn't mix well with me is when a person comes towards me, their mouth of whatever they're saying, their words. So my issue is with the mouth and with the attitudes or the lack of attitudes. And, you know, their lack of action and actions. And those will speak a lot louder than what the case may be, you know. And so it gets all tangled up in a web, and then you got such a, you know, it's worse than if you take one of those twisted corded phone lines that were on our phones back in the day, and you put all those twisted phone cord lines together, and you got a heck of a mess. And to get them all untangled, then you get all caught up in the web and everything. And so, no, you know, sometimes you just got to leave that over there, leave that alone. Now let's start fresh and let's start new. And, you know, we agree to disagree, and we just put it in the past. That was then, this is now. So this is how it's going to be. And if all the ones that I've got with me that are still with me on doing this like this, well, fine, great, come along. We're going to have a ball. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have fun. We're going to have enjoyment. We're going to laugh. We're going to giggle. We're going to be silly. We're going to have as good a time as we possibly can, however our bodies will let us do. And, you know, and if they want to reconnect or fix or whatever, they got to do all that, and then let's get together and all and stuff. I mean, you know, it's just hard to try to come to where you've got to really put your foot down, and this is how it's going to be. And even at this stage of game, and I should not have to be struggling with that kind of an issue. That should not be my issue at hand. And I've got, all I really need to concentrate on is taking care of myself and my medical and what I need to do for that. This other is like a whole new ballgame, a whole new source that it's so hard to push. I mean, it's, so it just, this is how it's going to be. There's going to be change. Yes, this is itty bitty baby steps for me. One step at a time. One day at a time. I cannot go any further than that. Yes, the only way I can do that is because I already hear the voices saying, out there saying, look, you're planning an appointment for next week. Well, I go, well, yeah, for doctors, you have to step out of the way you want to do and then do that. But then that is how, you do that you work that way. And then, finish out what all today is. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has got enough worries of its own. That's in Matthew. And so, because God has only given us right now, right this second, this is all that He's promised us. And it is a blessing if we go beyond that. And even in this minute's time, He's blessed me with another minute here on earth. If you look at, because we all have 24 hours in a day. That's what He has given us. He's not given us any less. He's not given us any more. It's what we do in that 24 hours and how we go about what we're doing and how we're doing it and how we're treating others and how we're treating ourselves, how we're treating our children, our grandchildren, and how we're, in this 24 hours, we're only given 24 hours. Because, why? The next minute, or later that night, later that morning, you may not be here. You don't know. I don't know. Only one knows is God. He's not telling. He doesn't have to. And because He's giving us that special gift of creating us with our birth parents and then giving us the gift of life and then seeing the world, the light, and then being blessed with children and then being blessed with grandchildren and grandchildren, and I've got friends and family that are great-great-grandparents, and so these are the stages of life. And each step you take is a blessing. Each breath you take is a blessing. Each heartbeat is a blessing. Each moment is a blessing. Each minute, each hour, each day, each night, or even in the wee hours, it's all a blessing. And what a great blessing. I mean, they talk about the Golden Globe Awards or the Academy Awards and the Music Awards. This is all of that, and then some, and then some, and then some, and then some. What I call the Grand Platinum Award of Life, a gift, a blessing from God. What a fabulous gift to be given. And I have been wrong on how I've done things, said things, whatever, however, whenever, or not. Maybe all the shoulda, coulda, woulda, or ifs. We're all guilty of that. We're human. But yet, to realize that you've done that, you've already voiced that you're sorry, and you're saying it to the ones that, whoever that it's happened to, are, and then in the end of it, you get with God and you make it right with God, and He's seeing all before you do all that. And so, you know, you've got to have that connection. And I pray that you do. And that's everybody's own preference, own deal, their own thing. And it's not my place to tell you how to on yours, vice versa. But yet, it's how we, and also not only treating ourselves, but it's also how we treat others. And it's also how we treat our elderly. And it's also how we treat our parents. Or not treat our parents. How we talk to our parents. How we do with our parents. Or how we not do with our parents. And, you know, we need to take heart. Take heed. Because there's going to be a moment in time at some point. I will not be here. I will be in heaven. And everything that is being done or not done, it needs to be rectified before I'm gone. Because then it's going to be too late. What you wanted to say, or should have said, or could have said, or why didn't I say that? Why didn't I tell her that? Why didn't I show her that? Why didn't I take the time? That's going to eat on you and be such guilt to carry. And to move on and continue on. And how it will be made easier and for you to move on and continue on is if you make it right before it's too late. Because at some point, my chair will be empty. Yes, granted, we will meet again. We will be together again. Without a doubt, I know that. And again, I say, I have no fear of dying. I'm not scared of dying. I have a fear of losing my sight. I'm scared of losing my sight. And I am losing my sight. I have been for years. And it's getting worse and worse. And that's the hardest for me to accept. Just like I've accepted the fact, but yet it's still hard for me to deal with, and that's the fact that I am no longer allowed to drive. Last time I drove was in February 2006. And that is the hardest thing to not do. I'd already been pulling myself away from driving a few years before that, but after I moved here in 2005, then I even started pulling myself away even more. Because I didn't have the reaction that you need to have for when you're, you know, driving. And I can only, to be able, say I'm sitting at the steering wheel and to look to my left, and further back, And of course you use your rear view mirror, but a lot of times you've got to use I have to use my body, and this is as far as I can go to look. And that's only because of the strokes that I've had. I used to be able to not have to use so much of my body to turn to look back that way. And to have to do all that, that's not right, because you're compensating of what you cannot see and do. So, you know, that was not a good thing. And not really smart. And then two, my peripheral vision is gone. You know, unless you're right up here in the front of my nose, it's about where I can see. And I've got to, you know, this bright light at times, it kills me. Doesn't kill me, but it kills my eyes, only because of the brightness. But yet, for me to be able to see, that's what I've got to use. And even at night, a lot of times, even after I make this video, when I play my games, this light will be turned off. I've got my TV on, and I, of course, got the light of the monitor on. But I'll turn this off, and this is the light, this is how it is as I'm looking at the monitor. And, like I said, I've got the TV going. That's the flashing that you see flashing. That's the TV. But, that's just how it is. And at times, I cannot even have the monitor going. I cannot, I've even put the orange light on to do on the monitor for the night light on the monitor. And at times, even that orange light, I'll turn it down as far as it'll go, and I've just got to shut the computer down and just be, not work with it because my eyes. And, we all each have our own little struggles that we have to go through, and a lot of times we voice them, a lot of times we don't. 9 times out of 10, people are not going to share what's all going on in their lives, but a lot of times it will take a burden off of them if they open up about it and take the mask off, come out from hiding. Because like I posted those pictures of how I look, this is still how I look. I can't do anything to change it. No amount of makeup can hide this. I can't run from it. I can't hide from it. And, I've still got that butterfly thing going on here. And then I've got this big old white strip going across, well, from right here. You can see it going there. It's like somebody came along and put white tape across there and made it kind of, you see that this is top edge, and then go here. And I'm like, where did that, and then now you can see the whiteness coming around here. And then the redness is in between all of that. It's like it's got the white strip of the butterfly going through there. So, I'm in both of my fibro and my polymyalgia and my lupus, both forms of lupus. They're in full blown. And that's another reason why I'm so tired as well. And I've just had it. And I've not plucked my eyebrows. This is just what's left of them. And when I do wear my makeup, I do it where I have what I call a little bit of pretend eyebrows, but I still make it look natural. I don't make it look I've come out of a coal mine. But if you go back and look at my pictures, you'll see. But, it is what it is. I do the best I can with what I've got left. And, we'll see. I don't, but I wanted to let you know that things are looking up at this moment. I'm just taking moment by moment. And right now, I'm more relaxed than I was yesterday. More relaxed than I was this morning. More relaxed than I was, oh, let's see, when was it? More relaxed. Let's see. Than I was at 7:27 tonight. And it is now 11:51. I was fixing to say 11:31. That's why I say I have to look at it real close, because these little bitty numbers on there. I can make it larger, but when I make it larger, it takes up part of my monitor screen. It cuts off a lot of my seeing, and I want to use as much as the monitor as I possibly can for my seeing, because at times I've got this pushed out away from me a little bit, but a lot of times I'll have to have the monitor up to me like this to be able to see what is on there to read if I'm reading it. Now if I'm typing it, I'll type and then I'll bring it back up towards me to see. But that's just an adjustment on what I've had to do to be able to continue on. But it's getting harder, and I can see and tell that my days are numbered for the computer. And then that's going to be one that is not going to be very pleasing to me at all. I'm going to be worse than the bull in the china closet. So, you know, because I've had doctors and specialists tell me that the way I've got my TV angled and where and how I have my, either at the time, I did at one time have a desktop, and the way I had it angled, because I had it off over here to my left, and then I had the TV the way it is here to my right, and I would be doing with my computer, my keyboard would be on my lap, and so I would be doing, you know, this way, and then my TV, and I watch TV and do the computer both at the same time, and that's doing my what's it called? Doing my eye coordination, my hand coordination, finger coordination, my dexterity, and the eyes and everything. So I'm keeping everything going. I'm keeping the wheels going. I'm keeping them oiled. I'm keeping, I'm keeping the gas going. And they said that if one or the other or both, or any of the three, meaning the computer, because the prescription from the doctor is she must have her computer, she must have her TV, and her internet going for her, because the therapy that would cost, you're only, you get 3 months that insurance will pay for 3 months of in-home home health care, and 3 months, in that same 3 months, occupational therapy if you need it, physical therapy if you need it coming inside the home, and then there's, if you need assistance with your bath or your shower, that is completely separate than this other, but it's still covered and taken care of. If you need a speech therapist, then that will come into your home, but that's for 3 months. And what all the therapy that I'm getting from the desktop or the laptop and the TV and the internet providing where I can use the desktop or the laptop, that's helping me with, that is a form of therapy. And then I also do the adult coloring book, and I continue to do that. I also make homemade pillows. I'm continuing to do that, but it's been a while since I've been able to do those because my fingers and my hands from all the strokes I've had have continued to get worse, and it's harder and it takes me longer to create because I do it all by hand. I don't use a machine, and I won't. Um, but, uh, you know, I'm wanting to do some more of my adult coloring, and I'm needing some new books on that. So, one of these days where I can go and pick some up, that's what I'll be doing. And that helps. Even card games, even, like even playing Skip-Bo or Canasta or Solitaire or Dominoes or Yahtzee or even Monopoly or, checkers or Chinese checkers. Those are the games that, as what I call games to play, that's what I like. Now, online, I'll do my puzzles because I like to work jigsaw puzzles. But I would rather work on them online because then I don't lose the pieces. Here I don't have a kitchen table. I don't have a card table. So, I don't have where and it's uncomfortable to go to a table to sit. And it's not very convenient. I can make it do if there's not a lot of people around. But then if there's a lot of people around, I'll go and take my plate with me and eat at the lounge chair or the couch where I can get more comfortable because I cannot sit with my legs down at a length of time till I've got to get them up. So, that takes the strain off my back and hips, and it rests the legs so that wherever I need to do when I get up, well, then I can do it. So, there we go. And if you have a lounge chair or even on a couch, even if you put your legs up on the couch, you still need to put pillows under your legs because it's still not high enough. You don't just get on the couch and put your legs out. You don't get in a lounge chair and just put your legs out. You need to get them up. But that's the way I've been told by doctors and the way it's been told to me. And that's the only way that I know it works for me, and I've seen how it works for others. And I've seen too many of them that, yeah, I do. And then I've gone and I've seen how they do it, and they're not really doing it. So, which is sad because they would have just a little bit more energy if they would just do that little bitty step. But everybody has their own thing. So, but I don't let them. I just see where it could help. And then if they allow me to show them and, guide them on that, and then I do, and then they realize it, they try it, and then they realize it, then they always come back to me and go, you know what, that did work. That did work. And I go, well, I'm glad it did. I know it does for me, so I'm glad it was working for you. So anyway, but that's kind of the catch up on the update on this, and I'll have more to know after next week, and don't know what's happening next week. Right now, I only know that one day that's happening. So, and how I do my update, if it's going to be typing a posting or if it's going to be a video, I don't know. I won't know until that comes, and that's not here yet. So, don't bombard me with questions of, well, how are you going to do the next one? I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I don't know. And so, just please don't ask me. I don't have time to re-answer that question since I've already answered here. So, but, I just want to keep moving and keep going forward and staying as positive as I possibly can. And if there's any, granted, we live in a world where there's negativity. We cannot escape it no matter how hard we try. Well, there is one place that I am able to control it, and that is on my page at Facebook. And so if there's any that comes forth, whether it's in a posting that you've made, or if it's in a comment, or in a message to me, which is in my message box, because I do have control for the message box. If it's negative, no. Now, because I'm always praying for everybody. There's not a person that I do not pray for. And that's just a given with me. If you're in my circle and on my list that Facebook calls friends list, to me, it's not a friends list. To me, it's my special family friends. And if you're on my list for that here at Facebook, then count that as being extra special, because I've even been told that I'm picky with my food. I'm not just picky with my food. I'm picky about what surrounds me. And everybody has their own limits of what they will accept and what they will not accept. What they will tolerate, what they will not tolerate. And what they will take and what they won't take. And everybody's got that line. And so I come to Facebook to enjoy, to have fun, to laugh, and escape, and be relaxed, and enjoy, and encourage others, help others as best as I can, and offer prayers, and, play my games. It's an outlet of that. And then getting to meet and converse and reunite with fellow classmates and and family that I haven't talked to in a long time, and then we do connect, and I want to continue enjoying that. If I want, quote, news, such as with the president or with the world or whatnot, I can go to my TV and get it, or I can go here online and get it from a different source than on my Facebook page. Because on my news feed on my page, I get bombarded like everybody else does, but I go with my cursor up to the right corner of, because your news feed is going to be, I know on a laptop or on a computer, it's right there in the middle. And in the middle, you'll see to the right of the posting in that corner, you can put your cursor over there and hit those little gray dots, and it'll open up the window, and you can either pause or make the thing sleep for the 30 days, or you can hide it. I'm constantly hiding. Hide. I go and I scroll down the next one. Hide. Yeah, that gets old to do that. But then you're not seeing it. So it's everybody's own preference on how they want to do the thing. But, I don't get on there to, be bombarded, because it's already chaotic and frustrating for me at the moment, and then I go here, okay, I finally got time where I can now just, I can escape and I can have frisky time and have fun and relax and enjoy and be funny and be silly. I get there and I get all this and I'm like, hide, hide, hide. And then finally it's like, okay, enough of all that. I go right to my games, and then that's where I'm at. And, you know, that's, everybody has their own little outlet of how they can cope and handle and deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with, or coping with, or trying to the best of their ability. And so, you know, I'm very thankful for the net waves and the technology that has come forth to do this, because it's brought a lot of family to me. It's brought a lot of my former classmates to me, and it's awesome. It's wonderful. It's a great way to, you know, interact. So, you know, I'm very blessed on the fact that I'm glad that I was given that to be able to, you know, do that. I get unplugged from it, and it's like, yeah, I can't breathe, but it's like, now, how am I going to relax? How am I going to get, you know, and it's just, you know, it's easier to do the other way. And so, I'm just grateful. And I love y'all, and I wish y'all all the best. And just know that I'm always thinking of you. I'm always praying for you. And I'm sending you bunches of blessings and bunches of healing energy up and over to you. And bunches of ALOHA'S to you and your OHANA. Mwah, mwah. Love y'all. Good night. Have a great evening. Rest well, sleep good, and have a fantastic, fabulous Wednesday. Night-night. Bye-bye.